Welcome back to Poughkeepsie Live. I'm here with Loki Velez. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, man.
You guys sound awesome.
Appreciate you.
Lots of energy coming out there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, before we get started, I got to know, Loki.
Ah.
How do you get a name like Loki?
Oh, man. Okay. Well, Loki definitely, I think most people know it as a mythological figure from Norse mythology, who just kind of represents someone who's kind of gets into trouble with a little mischief. But for the most part, for me, what he represented was, he was really, with words he could not be beat. Like, he used his words a lot to kind of get over. And so he was really gifted with his speech, and then eventually brings about a war. You know, you can read up on it at home.
Perfect.
This is
for
educational. But brings in a new beginning.
Right. Okay.
And that just goes along with what we are and what we want to do here.
Well, let's talk about the band itself. The name, The Last Broadcast.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, there's overtones of all sorts of things there. Tell us a little bit about why you came up with that name.
It's definitely a little bit, a lot apocalyptic. And again, it's really all about, for us, we don't necessarily want to put an end to anything, but we definitely would love to spark a new beginning in life in general. You know, with what the people hear us doing, we definitely have a big responsibility to the listener, and we want our listeners to grow. And we definitely want to be responsible for that change in music and life in general.
Now, the band itself, how did you guys come about? How did you get this lineup here? Because originally it wasn't like that, right?
No, yeah, it was interesting. I called one ad for a hip-hop band that was looking for an MC, and when I met that group of musicians, you know, evolution started, and then one by one, either from someone quitting or from things not working out, it eventually ended up being an entirely different roster where, I mean, I'm still here, but the musicians in the band, Rai Pila on drums, Scott Thomas Ferreira on lead guitar, Martial Fofara on bass, these guys are just amazing, and you know, the universe just kind of brought us together because,
A lot
yeah.
of incredible sounds coming out of three people as far as musicians are concerned, you know,
Yeah.
the instruments rather.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
it sounds like you're in a recording studio tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they're insanely
They bring that
talented.
game with them all the time. Huh?
Very diverse, yeah,
That's
and they
nice.
always use what they got,
That's
which
nice.
is great.
Let's talk about the artwork on the front of the CD.
Yeah.
There's a little message there as well. Now, you gave this to somebody. The fellow who did the artwork said, just give me the music, let me listen to the music, and he came up with this. And
Yeah.
how does it relate to the music?
It's really great that that's the way it came about, and we can honestly say that because this image is really what we feel like our music represents. Not necessarily that there's not a lot of time left, but the world or just the music game or maybe just even hip-hop has kind of been through something, and we're not saying we know what's left or how much time is left in terms of its popularity or in terms of its productivity, but for us, like, this is our sense of urgency, and this is kind of what we feel, you know, we need to address, the fact that we need to kind of maybe rebuild something for ourselves, you know, if nothing else.
Gotcha.